All right, this one's for the class. Okay, today we're going over hosting. I'll be completely frank, this subject is not super interesting. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to you for you to decide. But what you should know is there's not so much to teach as much as just like, I'm going to show you how to do it. We can all do it together. And then that's kind of it. Like, you'll probably have to keep going back to remember how to do it. But because it's not, there's some problem solving maybe involved, but it's not the same as like solving an algorithm, right? It's just another, it's more of a process that we're going to learn. Okay, sound good? Yeah, all right. So before we get started, I have posted a link in our Slack, and I'll post it again, and I'll post it in our chat here. I want you to go ahead and fork this repository. Fork this, right? So go ahead and fork that and then clone it onto your machine. And we can try to figure out how to host this thing together. I have not hosted this one yet. So that way, hopefully we'll encounter a few more bugs. I have looked at and thought about how I was going to host it, but we will see. I did host something else last week or so to prep, but not this. So keep doing that. In the meantime, I will share my screen. So I'm working in a slightly different repository, but it's the same thing, as you will see. I just wasn't sure if I could fork my repository onto my repository. So I didn't, so I just made a duplicate. So I have to, so the first thing we're gonna do is we can cd into our backend here and we can just install it. So npm I, and we can also do that for our front end. So cd into our front end, npm I. And we'll get all our packages started and then we'll just kind of explore what this app is. This app isn't that interesting. This app is pretty much the same as, remember when we had that broken project that we had to debug? And then we used that to do another React front end, and we connected, this was like the first time we connected our front end and back end. It's that cars application. I don't know if you remember. You'll see it in a minute whenever we get this thing installed. That is what this application is. I did make a few updates to it just so it was like slightly more interesting. But it's basically the same. It doesn't have much going on. It's more of just something that we can have that's a full stack app that we can go ahead and update. You're welcome to do this with your own. If you have your own full stack app, you can follow along and convert everything I'm saying to your application. But if you'd like to follow along with me, this is the application you'll be using. Our backend's probably done. So I'm going to go ahead and just get it started. So I'm going to type node mod app.js. You may have to add the database to yours. I think this database's schema is just called the broken project. I think it still says that. So I'm not going to run that because I already have it. But for you, that would be PSQL, space -f, and then the name of the file, which is our schema SQL. It's the relative path to the file. So just a quick refresher on our tables. We've got a users table and a cars table, and we've inserted some stuff into them as well. Users have many cars. We have our app.js on our back end. Looks fairly simple and normal. We've got our Express. Wait, where am I installing everything? Oh, yeah. No, I got confused for a second. Sorry. Right, we're requiring Express. We're requiring cores, body parser, getting our app going. We've got our port. which is 3001 here. I've got my cars router that I'm going to use on these routes. And then let's go ahead and take a look at our routes. We've got routes to get all cars, to get a single car. I mean, this is really pretty built out. We're not going to actually use all these. We have our users routes to get all the users and to get all the cars for a user, which you can remember from here. Those are the merge params we saw in Jeopardy the other day. We have our queries, where we have our car queries. They're all written like this, right? It looks pretty familiar, hopefully. It's just our basic backend. And we've got our front end here. Let's see if our front end's done. Yep, npm start. And in our front end, we have our app. And our app has a people select and a car index. It's keeping track of which person has been selected, giving them an index of 0 as a default. It's handling a change. These are things we're passing into people select. Let's take a quick look at what people select is. People select is using a custom HTTP to grab all the people when it's loading. If it's loading, it doesn't show anything, but once it's loaded, it has a select bar where it's going to listen to the users. And then let's go ahead and look at our car index. On load, it's going to go out and fetch all the cars based off of the URL. And that's going to depend on our person ID here. So if our person ID is 0, we're going to go out and just grab all the cars right here. If the person ID is not 0, we're going to grab all the cars for that specific user. So this is just a slight little bit so that we're building the URL here. And this is going to change. This is going to run every time there's a change in person ID. That's why it's in our dependency array. And then we're going to iterate through those cars that we want to show, pass the props in to our car, and our car just does some display of the brand. So let's see what the application actually looks like, shall we?
Can you backtrack just like a couple of seconds? I feel like my computer just froze when you were explaining that.
Yeah.
From cars, from the render to the cars. And then you went to the car component and then.
Oh, we're just mapping through all the cars that we're keeping in our state and returning a new car show presentational component for each one.
All right, cool.
So what our app looks like is it's terribly styled, but the point is that there is some styling. That's all I cared about. And we see we've got our all cars, and we see these are all the cars in our current database. And here I can select Corey, and I see Corey has 2 cars. Those are 2 cars that I have owned at different times in my life. John, we see he's got a really cool car. Jenya has a couple cars. She's into big cars, I guess. And we have Celine. Celine has no cars because she's French. And she just got her license in America. Okay. And so that's all this is. You can see, I guess all cars doesn't work. That's okay. I thought it did, but it doesn't. So that's all right. We could fix that later, but it doesn't matter. Oh, that's annoying. But you'll see that there's a quick little loading flash that happens here. It's because the loading's not styled or anything. Okay, so that's our app. We don't have anything in the console, so that's cool. I know there's a slight break when we try to go back to all cars, but let's just not worry about that. It's not really the point of the lecture. Okay, so this is our hosting document, and we essentially will go through this today. And there's not too much to it. There's a lot more writing in here than you would think about. But essentially, there's different ways for us to deploy our sites. Heroku is intended for whole applications like Node, which is something we're using, Python or Ruby. contrast with this front-end technologies and even React. I don't totally agree with that. They can be hosted on Heroku still. My previous apps all were hosted full stack applications on Heroku. That being said, there are platforms that specialize in static file hosting like Surge and Netlify. So today we're going to host our backends on Heroku, and we're going to host our front ends on Netlify. And then we're going to have them point to each other. Well, we'll have our front end point to that specific backend. So, right, if you'll remember, React is just JavaScript. It eventually just gets converted into JavaScript and HTML and CSS. So we're able to make this as a static site that will get created. So first thing I want to talk about is environment variables. So in Node, you have these environment variables. So just to show you what I mean, I can write in my console, export, and then I could just say the name. So let's say like Corey, and then this will be, I can assign that to like Corey Ludovsky, right? And it didn't like my assignment. I think I can't have spaces maybe. Whoops. Okay. There we go. Sorry. So no spaces on that equal sign. And now I can go ahead and see that if I go into Node. So like if I move into my Node here, I have this as this environment variable. It's kind of hidden. So to show you what I mean, I can say console.log process.env. And if we do that, we see we have all this whole object here, like term program, Apple terminal, shell. This is the shell I'm using, term. A lot of these things, I don't really know what they all mean, but these are things that run within our environment, our Node environment. And we see that I also have Corey in there. So I can console log, let me clear that, console log process.env. Right, this is the variable I made. And now I should see Corey Ludovsky. And just like that, I can also, we saw it's an object. I can go ahead and delete that too. So I could like delete process.env Corey. And now it won't be there anymore, right? So this is just something within the Node environment, which is kind of cool. And we can access that by saying process.env.
Hey, Corey, quick question.
Yeah.
So the first time you logged it, there was an undefined after. So what is that second undefined about?
Oh, you're talking about right here?
No, all like the first log that you did when you actually had the variable.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
This is what console log evaluates to.
Okay.
So I probably could have just done process. And that probably would have been less confusing, because it just shows us what it evaluates to. So I logged something that was undefined, that evaluated to undefined, and my console log also evaluated to undefined. That's all.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see what else we want to hit here. So when we host our sites, my wife is wearing a mask. What was with the mask? Oh, a package came? Awesome. Yeah, hang on. I have to open the door for her. Okay. All right. All right. So I apologize for that. We will be getting a divorce. Okay. No, it wasn't more bananas, Sam. That's hilarious. Rewind. Okay, so anyway, so when we host something on like Heroku, we're gonna get our own environment. It's gonna supply us with our own little node thing. And so a way that we can access this running environment in our code is by installing a package called .env. So .env essentially, right? So I'm going to go ahead and install that right now in our application. So I'm going to go into our backend part. So cd into our backend, and I'm going to npm install .env. Okay, so go ahead and do that as well. And these will allow us, and this will allow us to actually read some of those variables. Let's see. I'm just following my notes here. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do.
You said npm install .env.
env.env. It's a 6-letter word, just like this. You can see that too, right? You can see this page.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
.env.
After you install, are you running NodeMon again?
No, I think it picks it up all automatically. But so there's a couple more things I'm gonna do. In my backend, I'm gonna go ahead and make another file called .env, like this. So I'm gonna touch .env, and so we can see that I now have this env file. And I'm gonna go ahead and add that to my git ignore because I don't want that to show up either. I don't think I need a slash in front of it. Let me check my other project to see if I remember. Because I did make a different project. 2 seconds. Oh, hang on, my git ignore.
Yeah, I don't think you need it.
Don't need it, right?
Yeah, it looks like it works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
When I get status, I can't see it.
Okay, great. Thank you. We haven't put anything in it. That's why I wasn't sure. All right, so let's go ahead and add that into our git ignore. And then in our env, let's add a environment variable. So in mine, let's add a database URL. So let's say database URL. And this is going to point to the old database URL. So our old database URL was this, from our index.js file. And I'm just going to put it in like that. I don't need to put it as a string. I don't need to put semicolon at the end. I just put it like that. Okay, and now I'm just going to do a quick git status to see if anything's changed to check.
What you pasted the wrong thing. You pasted a GitHub link for your URL.
I did. Thank you. I pasted the last thing that was copied, and for some reason it's not copying the way I want this to. What's going on here? Okay. Copy. Paste. There we go. Thank you, Danny, for that catch. Right, and you're right. And when we do get status, you see that it's not there. So our ignore is ignoring this. Because this is not something we want to push, we can say. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you've got that. And so let's go ahead and update our index file so that we can use that instead. So what that looks like is let's go ahead and require our .env. So I'm going to say const .env, and make that require. And I'm going to take that from .env. And then we have to configure this. So we say .env.config and invoke it. And that's it. Pretty painless experience. And so what this means is that when our application runs locally, we'll be pulling from this env file to get that environment variable. However, when this runs on Heroku, it will be pulling from Heroku's environment variable, which whatever they give us back for the database URL. Okay, and last but not least, we no longer want to directly tell that, but instead we want to say process.env.database URL. Right, so now it's going to use our environment variable that we set up, or it will use the Heroku's environment variable that will be given to us.
Can
Any
I
questions?
see the
Yep.
environment variable?
What'd you say, Ashia?
Can I see the environment variable?
This?
Okay.
Any other questions so far? Okay, so the other place we want to think about this is in our app.js. Because this port is also something we've been running on our local host. And so we might not have this port. So I'm gonna do the same kind of thing here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get .env in here, .env, and I'm gonna require .env, and I'm actually gonna do it, just show you the other way you can do it, just .config here and invoke it. So I don't have to make that 2 lines if I don't want to. This is a little bit cleaner, I think. Okay, and I'm gonna say process.env.port. This is something that will automatically be given to us, or 301. Again, I could make this, I could make a port variable right in here, or I can do it like this. So this is, remember, if this is a truthy thing, it will evaluate to this. Otherwise, it will evaluate to this. So this is basically saying, hey, if our code's in production, use the port that's given to us and supplied by Heroku. Otherwise, go ahead and use my local port 301. Okay, so that's that part. It's not too many more changes we have to do for this part. So now what we need to do is all create a Heroku account. So I'm going to copy this link address and I'll post this in the chat and go ahead and sign up. Oh, I didn't want to change that page. Okay, so this should be pretty self-explanatory, but I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've signed up. And then Heroku uses Git to manage its projects. So we're going to do a fair amount of stuff in the command line. Therefore, you also want to install the Heroku command line interface. Which I will also post that line. Should we just put pursuit for company name? You can, or you can put whatever. I don't think it matters. Corey, you cut out for a minute. Can you repeat that? Yeah, I said I don't think it matters what you put as your company. You can probably say like self-employed or whatever, or like it just doesn't matter. But you can also put pursuit. I don't think it makes a difference. So yeah, hopefully, yeah, I'm also gonna just post what I'm following along with here, so you can follow along. And so let's go to Heroku. And hopefully you've had a chance to sign up. These are a couple things that I've already hosted on this account. I think I might have another Heroku account on my other computer because I don't see like a couple of my projects here. This is something I built down last year, and this is something I hosted yesterday or last week. I didn't do anything yesterday.
Corey, for the primary development language, JavaScript isn't on there. I see Ruby, PHP, Python, Node.js.
Go with
Java.
Node.js.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I guess whenever you're done signing up with Heroku, just go ahead and give me the thumbs up on the non-verbal feedback feature. Yeah, Henry, if you missed some lecture, it's okay. Just go to that GitHub, and essentially you're making a Heroku account now, and then installing the Heroku command line interface, the CLI. That should be the goal. Not much I can do to help on that. Sorry. If you're having some errors on your command line thing, read the errors. I had some errors the other day on this computer. It needed me to like update Xcode, but like all the errors like told me what I needed, which was nice. I'll also shout out to Brutus for being on the pod this week. The episode will be released later once I have a chance to upload it. So probably a little bit after lecture, but thank you for being a guest, Brutus. This is also kind of like dead space, dead air time. So if anybody has any questions or anything, they can also ask that now. This would be a good time. Yes, Brutus, it was great. Very easy to talk to, my man. We got to find out about Brutus's relationship, his theater background. It was a good episode. His possible coronavirus. So pretty exciting stuff.
So we're supposed to create a personal app after we sign up?
No, you don't have to. Nope. Just sign up and install the command line interface.
Okay, so what is it, like NPM I something?
There's a link. I put in the link. It looks like this. It's the page that you would go to, and you would hit this. Brew tap Heroku / brew and brew install Heroku.
Whoa. All right, cool.
You see that?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. Yeah, throw that in there. It takes a few minutes. It did for me at least.
If you guys are really into your terminal, I've been using all my ZSH instead of regular ZSH, and I like the shortcuts.
So Corey,
Cool.
we have to put in our terminal that line instead of clicking on the download the installer.
Wait.
Yeah, that's correct.
Question. I'm sorry, that was a little fast. How do we
I
get
think I
this
downloaded
page?
the installer instead.
Hang on, there's a few people talking. Henry, you go first.
Yeah. That was a little fast. Like I don't even know how you got here.
I posted a link to this in our Slack. In our chat here at at exactly 2:28. If you go to that message.
Okay. Oh no, because my Zoom crashed, so I didn't get it.
So this wasn't there for you. Got it.
Yeah.
Kong just reposted it there.
All right, thanks, you.
Kong.
Corey, I think I
Yes.
may have I followed the installer on the site. Would that be a problem or no? Said it
I
was
don't know. Is it working? Did you
It
go?
was successful.
It says it was successful.
Yeah, I hope it was.
You enter this in your
You can enter it in any directory. It's
anywhere, I
installing
think.
to homebrew.
Yeah,
So it's not like an npm package.
Okay.
that's right. Thank you, Fowler.
Yep.
Marvin, type in which Heroku, see if it shows up. If not, put it in the terminal.
Okay. Like in my just type in which Roku and like
In a new terminal window, yeah.
okay. 1 second.
Sure, both could potentially work, but we did install Homebrew in the beginning, so this is just like easy.
Okay. Heroku.
Right, so to test if it works, you may need to close your terminal and open a new terminal window. You may need to, and then type in which Heroku. So for me, observe, if I type in, I don't know why that doesn't clear. If I type in which Heroku, you'll see that I get a message back. It says user/local/bin/Heroku. If yours doesn't give you some kind of path back to Heroku, then you didn't get it quite right yet.
Oh yeah, give me a path. User local binary Heroku.
Yeah, then it worked. Then you should be good.
Hey, thanks.
So once you're there, go ahead and give me that thumbs up in the nonverbal feedback feature. We currently have 5 of y'all, so we still have a ways.
So Marvin, what did you do?
Oh no, I there's a command line input that you can enter that would install it for you on the Heroku CLI link. So it's the brew tab Heroku, brew and install Heroku.
Oh, there is a Windows thing here.
Yeah, but I just downloaded the installer. I was going too fast. So
If you on Windows, you can hit me up later, and I can show you how to like install the other terminals because I set up my other computer so I can code from it.
Okay, that's an awesome offer for all the Windows users out there. Oh, hit up Fowler, and he will walk you through it. Tight. Okay, we got 7 thumbs. Doug, you put an X. What's the X for?
But it's taking forever to load.
Oh, this is a waiting. I got you. Yeah, your internet speed might have something to do with all this as well. Did take me a little while. PSQL don't work on Windows. Beautiful grammar. I will find a way. My is updating. It's a command prompt thing, I assume. Okay.
Or a quick question.
Yeah.
When you created that conditional for the port, what did you put? Did you put .env or process.env?
Process.env.port.
All right. Fine.
So this is what is going to give us access to our processes environment, environment, yeah. And then this is like the keys so that we can grab certain things. So we'll be given a port, but like since there isn't one right here, it will just go to here. I mean, I could make this. I could put this port variable here.
So where were you using
wanted
the .env that we required?
Oh, that allows it to read this. Otherwise, this line doesn't work.
Oh, okay. So that's all. It just allows it to read that line.
Yeah.
So we don't have to put process.env.
No, just write it like this.
Okay. All right, perfect.
Updating homebrew. Henry, what's your error say? Henry, it says you got an error. What's the error? The error in my way. Xcron error? Updating homebrew. Deja. Kevin, are you asking a question? Or are you to me or to Henry?
It was towards Henry because I feel like I have the same error, but it says updating still.
Update your homebrew?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So just go ahead and update. I think that's just brew update, right? Pretty easy.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh yeah, Nilbur, that's the Xcode line. Excellent, thank you. Nilbur just put in the Slack something I had to run the other day. That helped as well.
Yo, I was about to panic. I saw Xcode. I thought it was like, I didn't know what to think. Thank you.
Is it
Brew
supposed
links.
to take this long? Because I feel like this has been happening for like 5 minutes now.
Takes a little while. You only really have to do it once.
Okay.
Question.
Ideally, everybody will be able to do this alone. I mean,
If you have to download Xcode again, Xcode is huge, so it will take a minute. Like if you have to update Xcode.
no, your laptop's out of memory. Okay.
If you go to your settings, you just got to make sure that it's offloading the stuff that you don't use. It's probably saving things that you don't need. Especially if you log in with your real info, like your Apple ID, it might have like pictures and stuff.
Cool. Yeah, I
So-
guess we can give it
So
some.
Heroku is strictly for the back end.
That's not true. Yeah,
Okay.
but that's what this kind of makes it sound like.
Okay.
But yeah, I've hosted entire websites on Heroku. That's how I used to do it.
So but with this so is it like difficult to just put everything all on Heroku, or is just
I wouldn't say that it's difficult. So Jimmy updated this, and he might know more about it than I do. So I definitely encourage asking him about some of the advantages, and we could look it up too. But from the way this reads, it sounds like Heroku seems to really be strong at hosting like a backend, while these other sites like Surge and Netlify seem to specialize in the other. So they might have a slightly better performance and stuff and easier to set up than Heroku for the front end.
Okay.
Not totally sure.
Okay. We got to get Jimmy in the building.
Yeah. Jimmy will know more about that because he wrote it.
Okay.
Prior to this year, we did the whole thing on Heroku. But it's kind of fun to do both, because then it sounds like you know one more thing. I'm trying to download the installer, but I have a message that says it can't be opened because Apple can't check it for malicious software. And no, but you're telling them to use the command line, is that right?
You might be able to, like, where did you download the installer and then click it? Did you try to just, sometimes you have to go directly into your files and then open it.
Hey Corey, what's the command to check to see if Heroku was good or not?
That's which Heroku?
Which Heroku? Okay.
As in, like, which one, not witchy woman.
I can't spell
Witchy.
it. I think you might have to post that in the chat. I can't spell at all.
It's right on the screen. Do you see it?
No, I don't.
Which I'm highlighting it, part of it.
Okay.
Which her,
Okay, that one. All right, cool.
but I can post it to the chat.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
which
see it,
one?
but I cannot spell.
You're asking me, you're in trouble.
We can just do this anywhere in the command line. Just
Yeah.
Alright.
12 minutes remaining from Karen. Oh God. We may not be able to wait for every person. The video will be online in a bit, and then we can rewatch the video. But Doug, I also care about the women in the class. But I want everybody to, ideally I want everybody to get it. So I don't know, but I also don't want to make everybody wait like an hour for things to load.
so I got back a path. So I'm good. User/local/something. All
You're
right.
good. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's see. So Nilbert, are you screwed with your setup?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move down this list. Kong, tell me what's going on.
Installing the Xcode, but from 1 minute left, it jumped to 4 minutes
Okay.
backwards.
No problem. 4 minutes.
Mine has been in like 1 minute and 14 seconds for like 6 minutes now.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
you're
But it's
stuck.
not frozen.
Henry. Brandon Brown, where are you at?
I can't download the installer. I don't know why.
Are you trying to do it through the command line?
I'm about to try. You should have to bring it up in Xcode, right?
No, Nilbert posted a line on Xcode. Nilbert, is there any chance you can repost? Oh, I see it. I can repost it. Nilbert said this one. This should run to update your Xcode. You don't actually have to open it.
Okay.
Let's see who else. David, where are you at?
Xcode. Have to update it.
Updating Xcode. Man, we got some out of date things here. Oh, you know what? The participants tab keeps moving people around. I'm trying to move down this list. Doug, where are you at?
I stopped installing Xcode because it was taking too long. So I just downloaded it the other way, and it was quicker.
Okay. Giovanni, you just wrote Xcode. Karen, where are you at?
I have 1 minute and 14 seconds now.
All right. Cool.
It may go back. Just warning you. Because mine went from 1 minute to 14. And
There's no jobs.
Back to 6 minutes. There's no jobs.
Maria, where are you at?
I got 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
And this is just to get that path, right? Like as soon as you get the path, you don't got anything else.
Yeah, everything's gonna be pretty easy from there on out. Rafid, where are you?
I got like 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yeah, but it's been like that for a minute.
Okay. How about Siham? What's up? All right. Ujwaka Basi, what's up with you?
Mine is still low.
Mine is saying 16 minutes.
Holy crap. Oh, all right. And Siham?
It's still downloading. I have 6 minutes.
6 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna pause the recording. Okay. And let's go ahead and screen share. Sorry for everyone who it's not quite working yet for them. Let's work on it together a bit later. Then let's keep going. Okay, so Once we have that, where was everything? Okay. So our next step, let me get the next steps together, is we are going to create a new app. So I can do that by writing Heroku, create, and then the name of the app. So your app, if it could already be taken, the name. So for me, I'm going to call this demo. I'm just going to call it Corey demo. Like,
And this has to be in the back end, right?
I think you'll find anywhere, but I'm doing it in the back end.
All right.
So I'm going to call it, hopefully this is unique and there isn't one already. And it looks like it's creating. Name must start with a letter or digit and can only contain lowercase letters, digits, and dashes. Well, I thought mine did do that.
Probably no underscore.
Oh, right. Or dashes. Sorry. Thank you. I made this mistake. I actually already made this mistake the other day, and I already forgot. Okay, so you can see it created something for me. So what this line does is it is going ahead and creating a new app for me. So try to make one that's unique.
Mine says invalid credentials provided. What does that mean?
Okay. There might be a step that I skipped. Try Heroku space login. Try that. See if that does anything.
All right.
Press any key to open up the browser.
Yep.
To log in. That's the response that it gives.
So press a key, and then you will be allowed to log in.
All right. It works.
Okay, so for anyone else who's having trouble, go ahead and type in Heroku login. It will tell you to press a key. I'm already logged in, so I don't need to do this. And then once you press the key, a browser will open up and you can log in via that.
Oh, mine just said it without Heroku login. Once it said invalid credentials, it just said press a key.
Oh, it gave it to you anyway. Oh, okay. Then don't do login. Just press the key, I guess. Thank you. Okay, everybody get this far, able to create a project?
So wait, Corey, I'm sorry. What are the steps?
We just wrote Heroku create and then the name of the new project. Please give me a yes when you're done.
Well, after we create, what are we supposed to do?
That's as far as we've gone so far, Danny.
All right, perfect.
Looking for those yeses. Hopefully you got something. Kevin Wong, what's going on with you?
It's working.
Oh, it's working. Okay.
Yeah.
Giovanni, Karen. All right. Giovanni, what's up?
I was waiting for it to finish creating it, so I'm good now.
Oh, okay, nice. Kong.
I
Go ahead, Kong.
I'm trying to type in. They tell me name must start. The name must be start with letter, end with letter, or digital. I'm trying to change the name. It still doesn't work.
Maybe it's already taken. Try adding your name and a couple numbers to it or something.
Yes, I'm trying right now.
Use dashes, no underscores.
Oh, dash?
Yep.
Okay.
That was the error that I made. See, Hum, where are you at?
I'm trying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's working.
Yep.
Got it. Yeah.
Ashia?
I got it to show up to create.
All right, then I think I'm gonna move on. Everyone else just
Says that I had to do updates
okay.
from 7:35 to 7:39, something.
Okay, yeah, it's just gotta be unique. Okay.
Do we
So,
always do this in our back end?
I'm doing it in the back, and I think you can do it wherever. But
Okay.
okay, and now we write this command: Heroku add-ons create Heroku PostgreSQL : hobby dev here, and I'm posting it in the chat. Okay, all you got to do is copy that and post that into the terminal. And what this does is it's going to create a database for us. It's going to create
This is
specifically.
missing a required flag, like a -A or something like that.
Oh, here, I'll enter
App, an app to run command against.
Oh,
so
interesting. Missing required flag.
Maybe you have to say the name of what you just made.
Could have sworn this worked for me the other day. Let's try -A. Whatever. No. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I'm not reading this close enough.
Can you type git remote and see if you have Heroku in there? So if you don't have Heroku in there, it doesn't know which app you're trying to add PSQL to. I mean, Postgres to. So you have to add the git remote to the Heroku Git. So if you add that, then it's gonna know you're trying to add it the backend to that.
What do you mean to the Heroku Git? Yeah.
When you created the app, you got the if you go back to your terminal, you got like you cleared your terminal. You get the URL for that Heroku your app, right?
Oh.
So you have to add that to it.
I'll try again. Demo 721.
So that link, yeah, you have to
right
add that.
here. So you're saying I have to say git remote add?
Yeah, that happened to me recently. That's why that's how I did it. I think it's how you typically add a remote. Or this time.
Maybe we'll get remote add origin that?
Yes, yeah. Heroku, git add remote Heroku.
Git. Oh, I see. Git add remote
Heroku.
I didn't have to do this the other day, which is interesting. No, that's not right, John.
I did it recently, and I remember I had to add the. Let me go and keep scrolling up my.
Right, I think you wrote git add remote instead of git remote add.
Okay, I'll try that. Add Heroku. There we go. Nice.
Okay.
Thank you.
So now it's gonna know you want to add the Postgres
Okay, so a few things happened there, right? So when we created our database, we get back, and when we create our project, we get back this new Git. We have to copy that link if yours doesn't work already, and then say git remote add Heroku. This is, and then the name of that link. And you can check to see if that works by saying git remote and seeing that you have a Heroku. Thank you, John.
Then do we copy and paste that thing that you sent us?
Let's try
Or we
it.
still do that?
Yeah, where it told me my database was empty, but that might be.
Yeah, it works.
Yes. And then we go ahead and paste in the Heroku add-ons, create Heroku PostgreSQL hobby dev.
Yeah, it also told me the database is empty, but I guess that's good, right?
This database is empty. Yeah, that's
okay.
Should be fine. We haven't seeded it yet. It just creates an empty database that doesn't exist. This, notice how we didn't put our schema SQL anywhere in there. So that's because none of it exists right now. What happens after it's in? After what's in, Maria? What's that mean? Hey, Maria, I don't understand the question.
When you do git remote and it says origin and Heroku, what do you do next?
Oh, then we are going to create our Heroku PostgreSQL hobby dev database.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
No problem. Good question. So the thing about hosting is there is usually some annoying bugs. Like I swear I hosted this last week and I didn't have to do the adding of the remote or anything like that. I don't know why I had to today, but whatever. Glad John was there for the save. Rock on, John. Okay, so give me a yes when we're there.
Who is it?
Did you say who is it? This is Corey. The only Corey.
Hello?
Sin, I see you're asking for a break, Sin. Not gonna do it right now, sorry. It's just too many of these little miscellaneous steps that take too long.
Wait, I didn't know that was for break. I didn't know that. Hold on.
Oh, okay. I mean, I just want us to like, so we're not really learning. We're just like, well, we are learning, but it's not. It's like we just have to learn these steps. I don't know. Maybe we can do a break in a bit, though. I appreciate the feedback, though. Okay, even though you didn't mean that. Okay, so looks like we're pretty good with this step. So this creates our database. And it's setting that environment variable, that database URL for us. We can type in Heroku config if you want to see stuff. I guess let's see what that does. So I'll say Heroku config. And we can see like this is the database that we've got. This is like this long database URL. But this is what's going to go into our Heroku our environment. So that's just something you can see. We should seed our database. So in order to seed our database, there's a couple things we want to change. First things are we don't want to be creating a database or dropping a database because Heroku is already giving us these. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete those lines from our schema SQL. And I'm not going to be seeing into our broken project anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that as well. Okay. So I'm saving that.
Wait, what did you just do?
I deleted the things from our schema page, deleted all of these things. The dropping of the database, the creating of the database, and the connection to the database. I'm going to delete this. Because we don't want to, we're not dropping or creating our database anymore because Heroku is supplying us with the database. And that's the database we'll be connecting to.
Heroku uses AWS.
Looks like it, yeah. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Yeah, cool. AWS is like super popular. Okay. Hopefully, yeah, well, I guess you've hopefully deleted those 3 things. And then we're gonna run this command. So we're gonna go right ahead and say Heroku. Heroku space PG : P SQL, and then the relative, I think also dash F. Yeah, dash F. So this is kind of like our PSQL dash F, right? Instead, we're saying Heroku PG to PSQL dash F, and then the relative path. So dg/schema.sql. We hit enter, and it looks like I've inserted things into my table. I've created the table and inserted them. Give me a yes whenever you're done with this step. We're almost there too, at least for the back end, assuming everything works. So with the way we're building this, it's you could very much make like a back end application and a front end application separately if we wanted to.
Sorry.
All right, we got 10 yeses.
I just want to answer the door. What do I need to copy back?
What do you need to what?
Well, what is the next step? I have to go answer the door
The
for
last step
delivery.
was
So after you
deleting the top 3 lines of our schema SQL. We got rid of the drop database, create database, as well as the connect to the broken project. And then we went ahead and ran Heroku space PG : P SQL space dash F, and then the path to our SQL file.
Okay, is that line in the chat? Heroku.
Well, that was to create the database.
Okay, got it. Heroku. PG.
Okay, we're almost here. Deja, where are you at? What happened?
It is telling me I don't have a database. And I'm in back end and
Yeah,
I
but did
typed
you
in that.
do the other line where you created the database?
Yeah.
And what did it say?
Wait, which one created the database? I deleted the other
The
thing.
one that had the word create in it? This one?
Oh, I didn't. Can you I sure didn't. Can you put that in the chat? I sure didn't. Oh, it's
All right, I can put that in the chat again, right?
Okay, sorry.
Everybody's got to be on full alert, right? Like each step here is important. And it is all referenced in our GitHub. So you can read through it as well. Henry, where are you at? Okay. Not here. Siham, where are you at?
I'm sorry, Corey. I thought you read the chat, but I'm back, baby.
It's
Oh, you're all caught up. Okay, I see you.
it says for me it's not Heroku command, and I have to do an update again.
Oh no, like did you put a space between the -f and the PS and the sorry, give me a second. Because I had gotten the same error. I just forgot to space out the PSQL and space the -f from that.
Yes, I did.
Okay, that
Yeah.
should work.
Yeah, I got that same error too. You got to do the space dash.
Just gotta space it. Yeah.
All right. All right, let's do the next line of code here. Okay, so once we've done that, we do have a database now set up. And so we've already updated our Express app. Just a couple more things I want us to update. So I'm going to leave my backend folder here. So I'm in the main root folder. And I have to update my package JSONs. So I'm going to go ahead. I guess I didn't need to move. Okay. All right, so okay, let's do first things first. We're going to click into the backend and we're going to click on the package JSON. Okay, so this is my backend's package JSON. Now, we need to add a script to start. So we need to be able to say node start, right? Because this runs in node. So I'm going to add a comma to this in our scripts. I'm going to add a start. And I'm just going to say what I want to happen when we start, which is going to be node app.js. Okay, so this is going to say, I want to run our node command on this file. Okay, and I'm going to save that. Give me the yes when you got that. This is your back end package JSON. And even those of you who weren't able to get like the Heroku command line interface installed and all that, you can still do this line. So. Okay, Giovanni, what about you? Where are you at? Okay, maybe stepped away. Ashia,
Oh, no, I'm
Brandon?
here. I'll put yeah.
Oh, okay, you gotcha. Ashia?
I'm good, Corey.
Oh, okay. Put that yes in there. That's how I'm reading these. Brandon?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, so add that yes. I was waiting on you guys. And Nilber and Ohidur. Okay. I'm gonna assume you guys got there. All right, I'm clearing the spots. Okay, and so now I'm gonna close my backend folder so I don't get confused. And in my root directory here, I'm gonna make a new package JSON. So I'm gonna say npm init -y to make my package JSON. And I'm gonna go ahead and open that package JSON, which looks like this. Now, inside of here, I'm going to add another command for the start. So I'm going to say, I want to start. And when I start, it's a couple things I want to do, right? I want a CD into my backend. And I want to npm install. And I want to run npm start.
What was the first thing you did? npm init-y?
Yeah, I created a new package JSON folder. Exactly, npm init space -y, just so I don't have to click through everything. Okay, and then I'm going to save that. And my project's in a pretty good shape now. So I'm going to add and say, get and commit this. So I'm going to say get status, get add, get status, get commit, hosting update, get push. So I'm going to push all this crap. Okay. And give me just give me the yes when you've gotten this line added, please. All right, so this is going to allow it that our Heroku, because we're going to push this whole app to Heroku because our app is a full stack. It's not split up into its own folders. And what this is going to do, when we try to run this in Heroku, it's going to call start, and then it's going to know to go into the backend. It's going to install those packages, and then it's going to call start there. And that start is essentially called node on app.js. And it's going to all work for us, hopefully. I'm praying that damn Carol Baskin doesn't get in the way of this working out.
Corey.
Yeah.
When I did the when I created the new package JSON, like in the root folder, it also created like a new node modules. Do you suggest I also make like another git ignore as well? I don't want to push all that as well.
Sure. I don't know why it would have made a node modules folder. You haven't installed any packages.
Yeah, it made like a whole node modules folder outside. It's very weird.
Very weird. What's in your node modules?
A whole bunch of stuff. Whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
Do you want me to share my screen? You want to see it?
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Let's see it.
Let me do my things. Go to desktop. Sweet. I'm gonna go over to here. You see this here?
Yeah.
It created a whole bunch of stuff here.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna make a git ignore. So,
sounds good.
Yeah.
Weird.
Like.
Hey, you didn't spell git ignore right. It's not camel.
Right. It's just regular, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Just rename that.
All right. So anyone who's got the nodes module, do what Marvin's doing. He's building
Can you click on your package JSON on that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
It says you have installed the Express there.
How? What? I didn't.
So maybe.
It's so random. Yeah. Maybe by accident. I don't know. I don't remember doing that, but I got it. But I'm still gonna ignore it anyway, just in case.
Okay.
I think it's a node. It's node modules / right?
Yeah, modules and then just / I think.
Pretty
that
sure.
probably happened when you did the npm I.
Probably. I probably did something funky in the installation. Like
Something
I probably
a
did
little funny happened there. All right, I'm gonna go back to my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully you've got that. Let's see how many yeses do we have in the feedback? Pretty much everyone. Sam, what's going on with you?
I got it.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, my bad.
All good. Oh, he wasn't answering earlier. Fowler, you got it?
Yeah, I'm good. My bad.
Okay. Henry?
Almost there.
And we have to push it, right, Corey?
What?
And I'm good.
We have to push it, right?
I don't know if you have to push it, but you can.
Okay.
Because you forked it, so it's just going to yours. Okay. So now, okay, I think we're all here. Now we are gonna try this out. So we are in the deploy. So once we've added and committed, we're gonna call to push to a Heroku. So we're gonna say git push Heroku master. And then we're going to hope that it works out. And it's going to do a little bit of stuff. And we'll see what happens. If it doesn't work, you have to debug it. Which I already did a lot of debugging for you because I wrote down the steps I wanted to take. Exactly. I had a lot more bugs last time. It doesn't look like I have any bugs this time. So it says that it's deployed to here. So let's take a look at this. Okay, I'm going to open this. I'm going to go to, I'll say, a new page. And I'm going to enter a Heroku demo get. Method not allowed. Let's see if I can do like, okay, I forget how to hit this at the moment, but we're gonna know. Oh, here it is. Deployed on this website, sorry. HTTPS, demo, Corey, Heroku. So I'm gonna post this in here. I don't have a basic Git, but I do have a /users. And I see that Corey, John, Jenya, and Celine are all there. And I probably have, I can get Corey's cars probably, or I could say users/1/cars. And now I have a backend, right? Now I have a server. Heroku is building my server. Or built it. It's successful. Woohoo!
Booming.
We got our backend working. Hell yeah.
Yes, it is bananas.
BANANAS. Give me a yes when you've gotten some JSON on yours. Remember, you got so the correct, because we don't have a route for just slash, so you're going to need to do like /users or something. So if this didn't work,
I missed that. What did you do?
What do you mean? What did I do?
The JSON.
Oh, well, I hit my route, and I got
okay.
stuff back. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know which one you were talking about.
So, quick question.
Yep.
So we could never ever have a slash. It's always /users.
No, you can have a slash. This is my app. This was if you look at our backend routes, we don't have anything to handle slash.
Okay.
We just have /cars and /users.
Okay, perfect.
So that's just because of the app I built. In real life, you have a slash probably or something, you know.
Perfect.
If this didn't work and you have a bug, there are some ways for you to troubleshoot. A good one is you write Heroku logs --tail. So if you made any mistakes, it will tell you. Heroku logs --tail. And what this does is tell me what's going on. So when I push, I got all this stuff to happen. So it said where it created this user. It made a build of it to see if anything was going to break. It attached things to the database. The build succeeded. And then it said it did this. It did the CD backend npm install. Now, if it threw an error, if there was an error here and it said like express, no module found express, that means I probably didn't correctly install it, or I didn't have that in my package JSON when I should have. And then we see that it went to the backend and called start and called node app.js in there. And then it started listening. And this is like essentially what's happening, right? It says I got a message get and it didn't give me back anything, but then I went for users and that one was a okay, status 200. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Oh, he is saying screen went blank. Is that just for him or is my screen still there for everybody?
You're still here.
Okay.
Quick question, Corey.
Yep.
So basically, like, what if we wanted to update our backend? We would just update it and then like git push Heroku origin or Heroku master again?
Yep, that's exactly right. So right? We're not re-updating the database or anything. If you do, you would want to like, you never want to like nuke your database. Traditionally, you want to like add to it. So you'd write like good SQL code to add to it. But yeah, if we wanted to make an extra route, let's say I want to make a route. I want to have a slash route. I hate that it doesn't have a slash. Okay, I'll go into my code and I'm going to add that route. So I'm going to say, I'll just do it down here, let's say, and I'll say app.get, and on slash, I just want to send up something. Let's say request response. And I say, what is it? res.json. I could say greeting, and I'll say hello world, right? Let's say I want that. Great. So I've made these changes. Get status. Get add. Get status. Get commit. M. Hello world update. Get push Heroku master. Okay. And now it takes a while. It goes through this whole build again. Yeah, Deja, that's correct. Get push Heroku master.
So if we wanted to add like another table to our database, it would be the same exact thing?
Not exactly. So I've added that, right? Hang on. I'm just going to take this first, Danny. And now I can go to here, and assuming everything worked out correctly, it might still be, just take a second to update. There. We see the code I just added, right? Cool.
Okay.
Adding tables, you don't want to, we wouldn't want to rerun this because, like, okay, you could if you wanted to, and it was just for your personal use and all that, okay? Now, if I have a hosted website, though, where I actually want real users, I can never destroy my database, right? Can you imagine if Facebook got rid of all their users and was like, well, let's start again?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Good luck, right? So what you can run is called, oh shoot, what's the name? John, Jenya, maybe you guys can help me with the name. It's got a specific name. I cannot remember the name right now.
Oh, what do you want to do?
The name of the next, if we wanted to update the database in some way, it's called running.
Alter?
No. I know that's how you'd write it, but it's actually I know where I can find it. I think it's probably labeled as such in Rails. This is called oh God, it's gonna be a minute. Migrations. That's the word. So you can run a migration on your database. So here's an example. So in Rails, this is going to look kind of funny, but like I wanted to make a change to a table or something. So I ran another migration where I said what I was changing to what table, and then I added such and such thing. So that way you never actually break your database, but you're changing one thing. So if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to insert, let's go ahead and insert some more people, I guess, for fun. So let's create a file, and we can call this seeds.sql. Right, and my seeds is gonna have, let's insert a couple more people here. So I'm gonna insert, I'll insert Danny, and I'll insert a Adina. I like that. Danny and Adina. And let's go ahead and insert some more cars for fun. Let me just remember. Let's take the route for one. Let's give Celine a car, or Danny can have a car. I think Danny's going to be, Danny, you're probably going to be ID 5 is what I would guess, right? But, okay, so I run this, and now I have that, and now I should be able to run my old command here, where I said Heroku PG SQL PG PSQL-F, and then I'm going to run my seeds .sql, and okay, it didn't work. No such file or directory. Oh, because I'm not in there, I have to be in backend. And now we have 2 more people inserted, right? So now when we go to /users, we have Danny and Dina. Easy.
That was cool.
Yeah, it's really cool, right? So we can make changes that way, but you know, you'll have your hosted site and then you'll have your local site, right? So better to make changes to your local than your hosted. But unless you're really building your own website,
what do you mean by that?
Well, you can add a bunch of, like, let's say I really was building a real site. Let's say I wanted to build that COVID dating site I was talking about, right? Like, I might put in a bunch of seed fake data to make sure everything works on my local machine, my local Postgres and all that, right? Just how we've always been doing it with localhost and all that. But then if I actually wanted to launch this website, I can't have people swiping yes on fake people. So I wouldn't fill it up with anybody because I would let real users fill it up. So I would have different people being hosted than people on my local machine. See, reminder, this is our demo at Corey, right? But I still have localhost at 3001 running. And if I go to users here, I don't have Danny and Dina. I never added these people into my local machine. They're only existing on my Heroku database.
So okay, so that part of the process where we inserted into the database, we would just skip that.
Well, if you were like really,
like for your in this example.
Yeah, right. Because like, you know, most of us right now aren't going to be building. I mean, maybe we will, but probably most of us won't build a production ready entrepreneurial business today, you know? And so because of that, you'll probably want to fill your project up with seed data so people can look at your website and play around with it and decide whether or not they want to hire you, right? That's what a lot of these are for. However, if it was a real thing, yeah, you wouldn't fill it up with seed data because it wouldn't be real. Like,
okay.
Like if we go to my help website, right, the one that I built, like it's just filled with a bunch of baloney, but it's only there so people can see, you know, how talented I am or whatever and what I can do and be interested. But if it was really trying to be like a Yelp site, I obviously couldn't fill it up with a bunch of fake data because people would get pissed off when the restaurants don't exist.
Sounds like a good idea.
Right. Okay. Did everybody do we only have 5 people that have gotten a hit from their URL here? Oh, here we go again. I see some no's. Rafid, what's going on?
I'm pretty good at this point.
Oh, okay. You had it saying no. Kong, you gotta know what's going on with that.
I have 2 kind of arrow. One arrow is like the arrow, like the app boot timeout. The second arrow is app crash.
Okay, and you're saying error, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to screen share and we can take a look at it real quick?
Yeah. Hold on.
By the way, the front end, there'll be less changes, I think. So hopefully it won't be so bad. We're almost there. And now we know how to host a backend. So that's really tight. I mean, yeah. All right, what do we got here?
That's the arrow. The web page is the application arrow. Same thing. So let me close it. I rerun like the push Heroku to master to deploy. So let me make some change to the back.
Let's add a route. Let's just add a route for slash to say hello world. Just in here. Yeah.
How to make a route again?
Got get.
Oh no, 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 no.
That is?
It's a string just like the ones above. I just made it. Were you not watching?
I've been trying to fix the arrow.
Okay, slash. Guys, do not forget what you've already learned. If you're forgetting, start building things on the reg. Okay, and then it's your request response. It's your middleware. You can't just write hello world.
Doesn't work?
No. It has to fire. You have to write the callback function. It takes in the request, the response. You don't have to. It's a anonymous function. Right? And then you can't just write that either. You have to say res.json or res.send. Okay. Okay, but your hello world has to be a string because it's not a variable. All right, that should probably work.
Doesn't he need to define res inside the callback?
Oh yeah, you're right. It has to take request and res as the arguments. Thank you. I missed that.
So inside the empty argument, the anonymous function, or no?
It takes in request and response.
So inside the callback function as an argument, put request and response. No,
inside the parentheses, column.
Yeah, instead of the parentheses.
Yeah. To the left.
Before the fat
The
arrow.
other parentheses.
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, it's a function. These are the arguments.
Request, comma, yeah.
There we go. Okay. Don't ever forget that again. Let's keep going.
You have an extra pair of parentheses. There you go.
Here we go.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. Let's do it. Awesome. Okay. So far, so good. Build succeeded. That's a good sign.
Okay.
Okay, that looks good. It says it's linked there as the demo Kong 101. You don't have to, just try the link.
Let me try. Open. It's open in different web. It's not sharing right now. It's loading. It's blank. It's still loading. It's loading. Nothing shows up.
Interesting.
Can I see what you typed on, like right before you, the Heroku thing -tail? I think 124.
I think I went too far.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's the first error?
App crash. I'm backslash.
I don't know why your app would crash.
My local host 3000 is still running fine. I think I just refreshed the page, the web page. It's just showing more error, and the error is just repeat. So it's just the same issue.
Can you show us your backend package JSON?
You told me to run this thing, yeah?
Yeah. That's looks good. Just looking at everything.
Package JSON.
Looks fine.
I think you told me to add the pour. With
that should be a capital O, capital R, capital T. There you go. That's the issue.
Okay, save it.
Yeah.
Let me refresh the pour.
You have to git add, git commit, git push Heroku master.
Oh my god. Okay, let me do that.
The devil's in the details. The devil's in the details. Karen, where are you at?
The same.
Okay. Did you make the same error with the capitals?
No, it wasn't showing anything. It said I had an error.
What's the error code?
Hold on.
Let me open a new page. Yes, hello world.
Okay. Excellent.
It's working. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Yeah, Karen, what's your error?
Okay, I'm doing it again, so hold on.
Okay. Brutus, what about you?
No, I'm good. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. Okay. Maria? Oh, you've got the same error. Was yours the port mistake as well?
Hey, Corey, can I see your app.js?
Yes. Any part in particular?
Yeah, where are we using .nv?
Right here.
It's not okay, mine where line 4.
Yeah.
Mine is not lighting up.
Well, I guess we're not really using it. You can probably just do this.
Okay.
That's probably fine.
Okay, let me try it again. I was missing line 4 and line 7. So let me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we need those lines.
Page 10.
Where else are we at? Maria, any luck on yours?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Okay.
Corey,
Yep.
what's the difference between putting the, like on line 7 where you have the 3001, what's the difference between putting it there and in the .nv file?
We totally could put it in the .env file. It was fine. This just felt like less writing for me.
Okay.
I was showing an alternative way, but yeah, we could say that there's a port in the env and call it that, and then just have it point to this. That'd be totally fine.
Okay.
All right, so I think we got enough people. So now we've got our backend. we've got a backend that works. So let's go ahead and set up the front end. So first thing we got to do is sign up your Netlify account. Okay. Should be fairly straightforward. Let's go ahead and do that. Give me a yes when you're all signed up. Oh, here, let me clear everybody's yeses. Okay, now go ahead and give me a yes when you've signed up.
I think you can sign up with GitHub, so I think it's like a one button push. So
Yeah, so everybody should be yes. Okay. Worst virus ever. Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And may the Lord bless every one of you in here. Sin, what's going on? You signing up?
I'm good.
All right. Rafid?
Yeah, my computer's just a little slow. I'll be done in a second.
Okay. Oh, Hidur? Doug? Okay. All right. That's good. Great. Let's keep moving. Now install the command line. So npm install -g. So you're installing it globally. Netlify CLI.
Do you need to install that in
anywhere?
The front end? No. Okay.
Anywhere. Because this is global.
Okay.
You can install it anywhere. Okay, I'm just gonna give everybody a second for that. Ugh. Ugh. I swear we're only like 15 minutes out. But if we're not done by 4:20, let's just take a break. Yeah. So
I
just give me-
understand something about specifying the config.
What do you mean specifying the config? Danny, what do you mean by that?
Maybe it worked. I don't know. How do you know if it works?
Typing in Netlify login.
Netlify login. Log in. The command is not found.
Okay, it didn't work.
Netlify dash login or just Netlify login?
Netlify space login.
Yeah.
So try again.
All right. So usage await command npm -g. What just happened?
I hope everybody, I know it's been a long day, but I hope everybody's still super excited because their app's going to be hosted very, very soon. And once you do this one, you can host your own apps, full stack. If you're hosting just a front end app, I mean, Netlify, you could just do it so quickly, or you can even use GitHub Pages, but Netlify is really easy. as you will find out very soon. Oh, Henry, I love it. I love you're still on the edge of your seat. Me too. That's it. I'm moving to the edge of my seat. Oh, yeah, baby.
Hey, Corey,
Hey, Ashia.
can you show the .nv file? I think I'm missing an addition to the app.
You're
that
talking
we
about the back end?
Yeah.
This won't really, this only is going to affect for our local host. This wouldn't affect your push to production.
Okay.
Oh, I hear some music. Sounds cool. The background deployment has my excitement. Oh yeah, right? Isn't that cool? We got like a back. That's like building our own Studio Ghibli or something, you know? Just like these sites that just give us JSON, or like that one that gives you fake to-dos and posts and stuff. And you could totally build that now and host it. It's pretty dope, as they say, as the kids say. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. I am from Ireland. 333 years ago, it was pretty dope. Let's see. Still waiting on some people to install Netlify. It's just that command, and then the speed of your computer. From the back, oh, okay, yeah, I'm still reading old comments. You guys hear my cat? You hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, here, I'm gonna grab the cat while I'm waiting. Hachi, come here. Oh, no, he ran away as soon as I opened the door. He probably is too embarrassed about his weight, and he knows the camera out's 10 pounds. D, any luck on the installment?
Yeah, I was just trying to do the npm build thing, but it says
Okay, you're moving ahead. That's fine. Just go ahead
okay.
and put that check mark there. Rafid, how about you?
Yeah, that's low. It's good. Sorry.
Okay, so if you guys please give the check marks, because the whole class is waiting for you guys. Ashia, we're still waiting on you and also Jay Fowler. Okay, let's keep going. Woo. Okay. Let's change one thing in our front end. So do you remember that in our front end, okay, I'm going to close the back end because that's absolutely done. In our front end package JSON, we added this proxy here. Do you remember that? Now, this was really good when our whole app was connected, but now we've got this front end and back end. So we actually have to add the specific pathway to our application. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this, my http://demo Corey. So copy yours. And then I'm going to add a new thing. So in my source, I have a util folder already, and I'm going to add to that a new file that I'm just going to call util.js. So this is just like a utility function. And I'm going to create this function. Now I'm going to export const, and I'm going to say like get API. And this function won't take in anything. And what this function will do, though, is check where it's at. So it's going to go ahead and say like, hey, if window.location.hostname, if that's equal to localhost, I'm going to return this my what I used to have as the proxy. So http://local host 3001. Else, I'm going to return my new API string. I just want to check something. I'm not, I think I don't need that slash, but let me just check one of my old project from earlier today. No slash here. Okay. So I've got this little helper function. Now, and basically what I can use this for is anywhere in my app where I'm making an Axios call. So, or anywhere in my front end that I'm making an Axios call. So I forget where I made all my Axios calls. I think I have one of my custom hooks in util. So, oh, that's just taking in a URL. So I'm not really going to worry about that. So let's go ahead to our car index. Here I'm making a URL, right? I have a URL here and a URL here. So I'm going to import our new function, which I think I called it get API, right? Is that what I called it? Anyone remember?
Corey, after you're done importing, can I see that? Yeah, that's right. So you said, where do we not put a slash? Because I remember you said something about putting a slash.
At the end of these.
At the end, okay.
So I've got this function called get API that's just going to check if we're running on localhost or in production, essentially. And so if we are in that, so let's go ahead and get that from our ///util/util. And I can just get my API. So I'm going to say const API is equal to get API. And I can invoke that. And this is going to give me back my URL. And so here, I can update these. So instead of those ticks, and so this will be my $, where I will say API, let's say, API. And I'll do the same for this one. API. So now if I'm running on localhost, this will be HTTP localhost /3001/cars. Otherwise, it'll be my demo project 1. That way I can still run in production or run in development. And I will do the same thing again in people select because I'm also calling people here. So I'm going to import our get API from /util/util. I'm going to go ahead and grab it. So const API is equal to get API. We'll invoke it. And I should do that before, sorry. And I will update this accordingly to be our API. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's everywhere I used Axios request in here to hit my backend, but we'll find out.
Can you show the get API function one more time?
Absolutely. Right, so this is one way of writing it. I could also have just done return and just made a little bit of a nice ternary there. So then it's only really a one-line function. And I'll just split that up though, so it's a little bit more readable.
Also, when you're done with this, can you go back to where you use the Get API in the code?
Okay, so I've got this. I'm just checking to see if it's the window host name is equal to localhost. If it is, I want to do my localhost address. Otherwise, I want to use my Heroku app address. And then I'm just going to import my Get API, Danny, from my util. And then I'm going to invoke, make a variable from whatever I get back. And then I'm going to stick those in front of wherever I'm passing around my URLs.
Which file was it? The cars index?
I also did it for cars index here.
Okay.
Same thing.
Because
And if I had set this up in a nice, in a sweet little Redux style kind of thing, maybe I would have a utility folder that has all of my Axios calls. So I can just do all of these in one file instead of hunt around, That would be really smart planning. I didn't do it in this case. But if I were to do it again, I would. Okay, so in the nonverbal feedback feature, give me a yes when you're caught up, please. Oh, we're 4:23.
Can you show the other one as well?
Okay, I will be here. I'm not going to go further than this until 4:30. So if you're done, take a break. Otherwise, be back at 4:30. Otherwise, you can stick around. I'll help. What did you say, Danny?
What was it? People search component?
People select?
People select, okay.
Same thing. We are so freaking close. I cannot wait. It's going to be awesome.
So this just goes in front of before every slash where Axios call is made.
That's exactly right, Jay. Before every slash.
Okay.
So, if I was really smart though, I would have had like a utility file that was like fetch these things, right? So like maybe I would have here. Let's create. I'll call this like API calls, let's say. This is what it would have been smarter for me, right? And I would have import Axios from Axios. And then I could have been like, okay, const fetch all cars, right? And this would have been axios.get, or this would have been a function, sorry. A function that returns axios.get / cars, right? And here I could have imported that utility function. So I could say get API, oops. Make that from /util. And then I could say const API is equal to get API. And so then in all of these, I could write it. So like, right, so then I would be going, okay, /API. And then I could have one that's like const fetch all users equal whatever I get back from axios.get backticks API / users, right? And I could export all these. So I could say like export, and then I could be importing these into my other files, so that I have these like sweet functions that I can just call that do the requests for me.
Can you show car index?
How would you make them asynchronous though, like so that.
Oh, well, these would be returning. So I wouldn't make, well, like these already return a promise because Axios returns a promise. So like where I want to fetch all people, let's say, I would go, well, I'm using the stupid custom hook. Let's do it like if I want to fetch all cars, I would go to my car index, and then this I do kind of like a thing here, but I could say like, hey, if, well, I would just have written everything a little differently, Jay, to be completely honest. But let's say maybe I didn't need all these things. So like, if I wanted to then fetch the data, I would be calling my fetch like all cars kind of thing and setting it to its response here. So I'd be doing like a wait. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. So it would be inside of something asynchronous already, and then
Yeah,
you would just say
right.
await.
So it would return that promise, and I would just call await. And so it'd be the same thing as me calling the Axios at that. Everywhere where I'm calling Axios at that, I could just do that. And then it'd really make it easy when I went to host it, because I'd
You
be
would
able
only have to change the one file.
I'd just be changing my whole file. Yeah, that's it. That'd be kind of slick.
Where would you put the async if you're calling await fetch all cars? Where would you put the async in front of
Before the function that I was calling fetch all cars in. This just returns a promise that will eventually be the cars. So it's just like where you would put the promise async when you're using just this.
Okay.
So that would have been a better way for me to organize things. But the way I wrote this app is kind of weird too. So I don't know. I'm gonna forgive myself. I can write much cleaner apps when I'm using like Redux and things like that.
Wait, Corey, what is that background, by the way? I've been like meaning to ask.
My background. What's my background right now?
It's like, I think it's like the baby thing. It's like a big baby.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I just
Yeah.
it's weird. I liked it. I saw it and I thought that I should have that as my background.
It was nice. That was nice.
Who's in the coffin behind yours?
Oh no, they're just they're just doing their thing, just dancing it up.
That's dark.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's 4:30. Hopefully people are starting to come back. So our last step was updating the APIs. Please give me the green yes when you are finished with that step. Please give me the green yes when you are finished with that.
It was just a total of 3 of them? 3 different.
I think, yeah, in this app, it's just 3 things. It's a small app.
Wait, it was 3. I only did 2. Where's the third one?
I don't know the 2 you did.
I did the car index and the people select. Was there?
Yeah,
one?
there's 2 in the car index.
Oh, there's 2 in the car index. Oh, okay.
My line 23.
Yes.
I mean, this part of my application is not working right anyway, but so I think it's this thing. I think I have to make this. I'm going to say like this. Just going to add a number here. I think that will fix it.
You spelled number wrong.
Oh, that wouldn't help. Thank you, Ashia. It definitely won't work if you spell things wrong. I appreciate that. I can't believe I can't spell anything. Okay, Maria, or no, you're good. Kevin Wong, did you add this already? Are you there? Yeah, I just added it. Danny, are you there yet?
That's good.
Yes, my bad. I didn't put
Okay,
it.
Kong, waiting on you. Kong.
You did add only the line 23, yeah?
And I did it in people select
Oh, okay.
right here.
Thank you.
No problemo. Okay, so I've added some changes to our code. I am going to npm and I'm gonna get at it and stuff. It's just to keep up to date here. Git commit fix API routes, let's say. Let me push this so I have it. Okay, so now we need to run npm run build. So npm, I'm gonna do this in my front end, sorry. cd into front end. So go into the front end, because that's where our React app is, and run npm run build. Okay, and it's gonna take a little while. And while that's happening, you can go ahead and open up another terminal window and log in to Netlify. So I'm going to go here while that's happening and run npm Netlify login. I'm already logged in. Tight. If you're not logged in, that's how you log in.
I got a bunch of errors, Corey.
When? For what? For the login?
No, when I did the build.
You got errors on your build? That's
It
weird.
was the npm run build, correct?
Did you do it in your front end folder?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of errors too.
For sure.
It's run builds or
Yeah, npm run build. As you can see, I did not get any errors, so this is gonna be tough. What errors did you guys get?
It's saying something about my util. Something about my util that's not booming right now, I think.
Is your guys' application already running, or do you have an error in your app?
It's been run. Well,
Like mine's still running.
I'm not actually. It's not running. It's not running. I was supposed to run it.
Well, you would be able to tell if you had errors.
Okay, yeah, that is true. Hold on.
Because mine still runs, so if it didn't build, I would be really weirded out. Doug, what's your error say?
Mine says the util JS file that I'm trying to access falls outside of the project source.
Did you make it inside of your source?
Yeah,
folder?
it's right next to my custom hook. I'm gonna try to fix it.
All right. Do you want to share
Maybe.
the screen? Did anybody get a successful build?
Oh, I'm getting API is not defined. So on.
Did all of you guys write the utility function correctly?
Yeah, I'm getting.
Going on with this
That was just my mistake on one of them.
You made a mistake. You found it?
Yeah, at least for me.
Okay. Fowler's.
I think it
Okay.
wasn't.
Check for Fowler. What other mistakes do we see from you guys? Doug, you find a mistake?
So when you make a change and you hit run build, because I was like reading the steps earlier and I like followed everything and I hit run build. So if we made those changes that you just showed us, do we just run it again?
Yep, that's right. Once you've made a change, you can just run the build.
All right, the build folder is ready to be deployed, etc. And then I have a .netlify folder. Am I supposed to ignore that in some way?
No, just, I don't know. Just ignore it right now. I don't have a Netlify. Maybe you've already run the Netlify.
Yeah, I did.
Have a
I
build.
hit
So don't worry about that right now. You're ahead of us, I guess. I want to get everybody to have had a successful build. If you've had a successful build, though, please put yes, so that way I know not to target you. Danny, what's going on with yours?
I'm rebuilding.
Okay, you found a mistake?
Yeah, I forgot to add the extra util.js after util. It was too many utils. Well, it wasn't enough utils.
Got it. Doug, did you find your mistake? Oh yeah, I see.
Okay, so it's working.
Yeah,
so
it
what
was
am I
just
supposed to do?
Just run the build. Just trying to run the build. We are almost there. We are like, oh, it's like right there. I cannot wait for all these to go green because it's happening like right next. Marvin, what's going on with yours?
Oh, I'm good. I got a package in the mail, but I did it.
Okay. Kevin Wong, what's going on with yours?
It's working.
Oh, it's working. Okay, yeah.
Corey, I'm still getting an error.
Henry's getting there. Let's take a look. What's going on? Tell me the error.
Can I share my screen?
Sure. Okay, let's hit this.
Let's get right here. So I run. Let me clear this out. Npm Run Build.
Yeah, but is your app running somewhere else?
Nah. Oh, nah.
Well, that will probably give us better error messages.
Where's my, what you mean?
So npm start.
npm, oh. What?
Did you already do it?
Node modules is missing. Local package JSON exists, but node module is missing. Did you mean to install?
Did you never install it? Have you ran it at all? Since cloning it?
What do you mean?
You know,
NPMI.
Yeah, that's the first thing I did.
For the front end too?
All right, cool. I guess I'll run this and then I'll do it again.
Okay.
All right, cool. Thank you.
No problem. Hopefully that let us know if that doesn't work, okay?
All right, cool.
Who else are we looking for? Oh, just Henry. So let's just wait. Oh, and Ashia. Ashia, what's going on with you? Oh, you got the green. Okay. Henry, talk us through it. What's going on?
I'm good. Y'all could we could keep.
No person left behind. That's what we said in the beginning, except for when it got completely unreasonable. Then we had to move.
It's almost installing. I didn't know that we needed the MPI in the front end too.
Yeah, that's the first thing we did today. Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, I did. Yeah, you're right.
It's all right. It doesn't matter. This is all part of the day. This is all learning how to do it.
Corey, quick question. Is our back end like hidden to the public through Heroku?
No. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the public will be like they could still go to your GitHub. So but like they're not able to see your code through Heroku, I don't think.
Like, let's say we build an app and we have like user information through Heroku.
Yeah, I don't think they have the ability to get into that database. I think that string is so hashed and weird. Yeah, Fowler, you know something?
It says it. So like there's an access part like in Heroku. So if you, like when you are on Heroku, it says who has access to the thing that you've deployed.
Okay.
So like when you hit your project, it says access and it's like the owner. I'm pretty sure that limits the number of people who can see it, like with the link.
Cool. Thanks.
Cool.
But we could always find out. You could just send me your link and I could send you mine. And that's also how we find out if you can see it.
You're breaking up, Jay. I can't.
He said you could send it.
I guess we could always, yeah, we could send each other our links, and then that's also like a quick way to test it if we can open it.
Okay, so we've run build, we've logged into Netlify. So here's what's left. Inside of this front end folder, we will write.
Wait. I didn't log in. Hold on.
Why not?
I asked you what we were supposed to do after building. You said that was it. Just build.
All right. Well, I got the video recording. We'll check. But yeah, let's do Netlify space login. Everybody log in.
The suspense.
Suspense. Are we all logged in? Let somebody.
How do you know? How do you know if the login works?
It'll say authorization.
It'll say authorization.
Yeah, it
If you
says
try it again, it will say
specifically authorization granted.
Also, if you try to log in
I did
again,
not get that. So it's npm. What?
there's no npm. It's Netlify space login.
Okay.
Right? It's Netlify space login. And if you're already logged in, it will tell you that you are already logged in. Which is what mine says. Already logged in. Danny, did you log in?
Yeah, I just got in.
Nice. Is anybody not logged in? All right, then we're going to do the next step. The final step, hopefully, is Netlify. Deploy. Enter. And then it says, what would you like to do? Link this directory to an existing site, create and configure a new site. So I am going to say, wait, where is this? I'm going to go ahead and move the arrow key to create and configure a new site and hit enter. And then it says, Corey Ladovsky's team. Sounds good. Enter. Choose a unique site name or leave it blank for a random name. You can update the site name later. So
Wait. Hold on. So once we get to the link the new site, what do? We hit the arrow for what?
Create and configure a new site. It should be blue.
How do we create? And I see something that
You
says
can use
but
the arrow keys to highlight the one you want and then select enter.
okay, that looks right.
Okay, then there's the team, and just keep filling this out. So site name. So I'm going to call this deployment example by Corey Ladovsky. .netlify.com. That seems good to me. It doesn't, only alphanumeric characters and hyphens are allowed. Oh, okay. Probably doesn't want the .com. Probably just wants the deployment example by Corey Ladovsky. And now it builds this Netlify folder up here. And we can see that site has been created. Admin URL, and site ID. So it says, please provide a published directory. So I am going to do my build. So I'm going to write build, because this is the folder I want to show, is my build folder. Going to hit enter, and it's going to deploy that.
Oh, that's
Wait,
what
slow
that
down,
meant.
hold on.
Oh, I thought it was like a directory on Netlify.
Oh, nope.
That explains.
So
that explains why that link
So-
ain't working.
It says to provide the directory that you want, and we want to provide it. We want our build directory because we just built that folder. That's a minification or
So
compatible.
that's after we create the site.
Yep. Just keep reading. Just keep reading it. Each thing tells you what to do, and then it says live draft URL.
So what are we supposed to provide though?
What do you mean provide?
Didn't you say we had to provide a
It says,
directory?
please,
to something?
are you on the line where it says please provide a published directory?
Yeah.
Type in build. That's why we made that build folder.
Corey,
Mhm.
on your terminal it says live draft URL, right? And then on my terminal it says website draft URL. It doesn't matter, right? It's down. You get go down.
Probably doesn't matter.
Okay, cool. Fine. Just asking.
Good question.
Is it
Yeah, mine
supposed
says
to be
website
empty?
draft.
Hang on, I'm getting a few things. Jay Fowler first. What?
Is it supposed to be empty? So when I click the website draft, now I'm not getting the error I was getting before, but it's just a blank page.
No, it shouldn't be. Hang on, I just want to make sure everybody's here first. So once you've selected build, go ahead and copy that live draft URL. And then let's go to our site. So I'm going to make a new window. I'm going to paste this in. And I see that it's loading in the corner. I might have a bug or something. Nope, it came. So we see I have all my cars and I can select all these other cars that I want. And my app is now almost ready. Did everybody get
So
If Fowler, have you tried running it on your local machine lately, and checking to see if it's works on there?
just npm start.
Yep. Get your back end running too. You know.
Yeah,
mine's is working.
Doesn't
Mine's
work
working.
for me either, and it shows a blank page when I go to that website draft link.
I would bet that you have made a mistake.
So it runs when I run npm start. When I hit the demo link, what I see is the loading really quick and then blank. So it's like it's not pulling something.
Did
I do see loading flash for a second and then
Did you correctly seed your Heroku database? Were you getting JSON back when you checked if the Heroku database worked?
Yes. So using my same Heroku link, it was /cars, and was there another slash people?
Okay, hang on. So I'm seeing some messages in the chat, fella. I'm just hang on just for a second. If your build is not working, you have made a mistake in your coding. So try running it on your local machine and start to debug. It's nothing wrong with the build. It's probably you put in the wrong file path name. You didn't export. Your function is broken. You'll probably find something like that.
All cars was working just now, and now it's not working. But everything else works though. All cars works.
Oh, well, that's fine. You probably didn't add that number thing. That was a mistake that I updated.
What is that? Maybe that.
No, all cars work for you on the load though, right, Danny?
When I initially loaded it, it was working.
Yeah.
But when I went to Corey, Jenya, Selena,
Yeah. That was I fixed that by adding number here on line 23.
So can we do that and it'll still work?
You can do that and then rebuild.
So do that and then
rebuild, and then I think you might have to do the Netlify steps again. I'm not sure, but it's not much because you just write Netlify deploy.
So do that, then npm build, run build.
Yep.
And then Netlify deploy.
Yep.
All right.
Okay,
Hey,
Fowler,
Corey.
hang on. I still want to help Fowler and unless you're good for right now, Fowler.
Nah. It's so when on npm start it runs fine. The Heroku backend, I get JSON when I type in the, the different endpoints, but the draft link is still showing blank. It just says loading really fast for a split second. You can't even catch it.
Can we screen share with each other?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I have to stop, don't I? You can't overpower me.
Right.
Okay. We will get it there, but we're basically done. Just so you know, everybody, we have one more command, which is like a no issue once you got it working. Okay, Jay. Can I see it working in your JSON of Heroku?
My JSON of Heroku.
Can you refresh that for me? Okay.
And even
and
here.
let me see with cars. Okay. Now let's go back to your site. The real one. The real one. Can you open up your console for me? Oh, here we go. What's
Getting that same error.
Can we scroll up to see the whole error there, Jay? All the way up. Endpoint. This request
Was that an error that I made?
Must be served over HTTPS.
Oh, do I just have to put an S in something somewhere?
Maybe. Let's look at your util. Yes, that should be an S in there.
Okay.
Let's try everything again.
Okay,
you gotta rebuild. All right. Cool. I hope that's it. All right. Let's deploy.
Is it just Netlify deploy? That's it?
That's it. Yeah. Pretty slick. Build. Okay. It's gonna update this. All right, let's check that out. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, can you stop screen sharing now? Let's hit the next person.
Yes.
And can you just put a green check mark when you're done? There, Jay?
Yes. How do I bring up the controls again?
Hit escape.
There we go. Found him.
Thank you. Okay, who's next? Who needs help next?
I do, Corey.
Okay, what's going on, Ashia?
Okay, so I'm having this error that, 1 second, let me just unmute. Okay, I'm having this error that says cannot read property of users of undefined when I do npm start. And when I go to the link that gives us in the Netlify deploy, it shows a blank screen.
Right. Did your Heroku link work?
I don't know.
I have to test that.
So, okay, so when I go to the Heroku link, I get a cannot get slash.
Okay, now do /users. Let's see.
I get error.
Okay, something is wrong there then with your backend setup.
Okay.
So, I don't know what it is right now. Yeah, I'm gonna pause the recording. Okay, one final step here, which is if everything looks good on your draft URL, take it live with the production flag. So I'm gonna say Netlify deploy -- prod, enter. The directory, build, and now I have my live URL that I can take and I can send to all of you, and you can all go to my website and see, and my family can all see that Celine has no cars, and John has a 1964 Mustang, and Jenny has big cars, and these are all our cars. Anybody can see this in the world now, unless they're not allowed to, at this URL. And fun thing to see is, right, my production app here has Dina and Danny, but I can still have it running on my local host, 3000, where I don't have Danny and Dina. So I'm able to have, I'm getting different things from my production and my local host. These two do not affect each other. And that's it. That is it. If you've gotten this far, you have hosted your first full stack application. Give yourselves a hand. Long day. I know it took you 3 hours this time. I promise next time it will probably only take you about 15 minutes. It's really not a lot of steps. It just is a lot of steps with 30 people that have bugs. The last step, Henry, was writing Netlify. If everything looks
Went on
good.
my phone. This is cool. It's boom.
Netlify space deploy space -- prod. That was the last step, Henry.
I'm happy.
Oh my God, we did it. We got there. I'm so thrilled.
You made it.